so we're back with Chad here again, talking about stem cell therapy. So I'm Dr. Philip Oob. This is Chad Hidalgo. And so Chad's now 9 weeks out from a stem cell therapy, as you've seen in his video.
Right.
We did PRP, adipose stem cells, which is liposuction from his belly, and then bone marrow from his hip. And we mixed those three together and we injected it into both shoulders and some of the surrounding structures, but mostly just inside the joint capsule to help with arthritis, tendonitis, and multiple things. So Chad's here to talk about a few things that we want to go over. First and foremost, Chad, why don't you tell us a little bit about how the past 9 weeks have been? Did you have to miss a lot of work? Were you in a lot of pain?
No, even with getting both shoulders with PRP and both sets of stem cells, didn't miss any work. You sort of take it easy, and I work in a lab, but we're picking up 5-gallon buckets full of petroleum coke, so it's physical, and puck mills and all are significant weight, but you sort of hold them a little closer to yourself, and you're not really just sort of flinging. You're very conscious and moving everything, but didn't have to. There was no downtime, significant downtime.
So you took, 3 days off work? Just kind of, we did it on a Friday, took the weekend. When did you go back to work?
I actually took the full week. I took a full week off, and then went back, and sort of definitely took it easy and didn't do anything really extra, and was very conscious about angles or really reaching forward to not offset any extra stress on my shoulders, but didn't, as far as grocery shopping, cooking, taking a shower, cooking, anything like that.
Wash your hair, you were able to do all that?
Any of that, is not compromised. And doctor wanted me to kind of bring that up because I have had my right shoulder has been reconstructed once, and my left has been reconstructed twice, all within a 10-month period. October 10th, 2009, November 24th, 2009, then July 8th, 2010. It had to be redone. A lot of with shoulder injuries usually end up being one, and after a shoulder reconstruction, a bit of the oversell or the myth is that you have these four small holes in your shoulder.
Small, little bitty ones, right?
But it's the wall anchors that were put into your humerus that are in the entire, that change the geometry of your shoulder. And when you come out of these surgeries, your arm is, for lack of a better term, is stuck to you.
Via a splint, a specific splint that they put that attaches your arm to you and doesn't allow you to move it.
It is, and it's a difficult, psychological, because you can't do very much. For example, it's going to take a week, if not two, before you can get a washcloth under your armpit to wash, because everything is swollen. You look like you were in a car accident, everything being swollen. And just to start physical therapy, and pretty much your physical therapy starts rather early now, which is good. You need to move. But if you tear one or two tendons, when you go through a full reconstruction, that entire shoulder has to be, is held solid to you. And you have to build up your strength, and your recovery, your rehab is for primary, secondary, tertiary muscles of the entire shoulder. I was surprised to find that you think balling up a piece of paper, or your grip is in your forearm. That's your shoulder. You go through a shoulder reconstruction. It will be 3 or 4 weeks before you can crumple a piece of paper. And I guess I can only speak from my experience, but what I found most disturbing about a shoulder surgery is I always wonder if I could have taken 4-6 months off of work, 3 months off of work, and maybe some light duty once I had the more major compromises. And I say major, which I mean when I had the stem cells in October, I tore half my scapularis, half my subscapularis, half my supraspinatus, and the entire long head of my bicep. So that's a pretty serious injury. And first thing that we need surgery. And with me having surgery on this one twice, I wanted to hold out and wait. And man, is there any way I could let myself heal? Even before I found Dr. Rube, it was always a wonder if it could, because I didn't want to start over from scratch. I can still use and not miss work and not really compromise my entire life so much. I found most sad is most companies, it's hard for you to take off work for 4 or 6 months unless you have a dramatic surgery. Then the way insurance and even corporate procedures, then you can miss a certain amount of time of work. Then you can miss and get a light duty. And you end up having a major surgery that is life-changing, life-compromising. And did you really need that drastic of a surgery? Not saying that sometimes it isn't, but personally it should be like a last ditch. I have a friend of mine. He had his shoulder, his first injury, in October, a week before mine. He was in Lake Charles, and I was in Costa Rica when mine happened. And he went straight into surgery a week after I returned, so in late October. Again, I chose to not have surgery, and was lucky enough to come across Dr. Rube, and before I even had stem cells, was gradually getting better. In January 27th, had the stem cells and really started to notice significant improvement, to a point where Dr. Rube had to hold me back on, no, don't try not to be too physical, slow down. And just to use as a barometer, this friend of mine if anything, is in better shape than myself, and it was his first shoulder injury. And to this day, he and I are compatible with our recovery. And I wish I had him here with me, because he would be the first one to say, and he's, I actually get in touch with Dr. Rube, because if anything happens again, he would definitely choose a stem cell, an alternative route, than going through a full reconstructive, because of how much weight he lost, the atrophy on that entire side of his shoulders and side of his body. And also, as he describes, it was his first surgery, is how you can feel the geometry is different when you have a full reconstruction. So something to consider.
Yeah, I think you told me a point before we started the film was you're worried that it's too easy to get roped into a shoulder surgery these days, and you feel like it's the first option. And two things you told me were look around, think about it before you actually do it. And the other thing I never thought of is talk to other people at the physical therapy place that you're going. So tell me.
But as a younger guy, 25 years old, had a mechanic, he had shoulder trouble, had gone to an orthopedic. And I didn't ask which one, whether he went to the same one as me, and I think that's really insignificant. Went to an orthopedic, had an MRI, and was sketching surgery. I asked him, had you had physical therapy? He said, well, I asked about it, and the orthopedic said, well, I could, but that's just, he's a mechanic, doesn't have real good insurance, so the out-of-pocket seemed a discouraging factor in it. And the MRI showed that, yes, it was torn. So something that I've learned is pretty much if a MRI can show it and can justify an insurance company covering it, yes, surgeries do occur. That's the big thing, is making sure it qualifies you for surgery. And we sort of went back and forth, and of course I'm 44 years old, so here's this old man telling him what to do. But I said,
middle-aged man. We call you middle-aged.
I said, it's middle-aged. Here he goes with this again. You see this? What I asked him, I said, well, okay, if I'm crazy, if I'm wrong, how about this? At least try this. Promise me this, you'll go and request 4 to 6 weeks of physical therapy. Go there. Not just for the physical therapy. And don't talk to physical therapists. Go there, and the first couple of times observe the people that are there with shoulder surgeries. And I even told him, I said, go in the morning because that's when most high school, college athletes are there, not later, so much in the evening. That's when more middle-aged and the older fellows go in. But go in when the younger athletes are in and see how well they're going and hear how it's affecting them, whether or not it's their first surgery, who did their surgery, and you know, and how they feel about it. And there will be more repeat customers in there than you'll find. You will commonly hear, you know, I'm not sure if I made the right decision. I hope I did. I have to believe I did because I'm sort of pot committed now. And I was one of those. I've been there and you know sort of wondered with my left, dang, if I would, if could I have healed? And then again I regress into going back where I work. They would have never let me off, you know, 2 full months and then come back to work. And come back to work and have light or modified duty, and then to come back. If that could have been done, would I have healed as much? And
So there's a flaw in the system, of course, that it's actually easier to get surgery, easier to get paid time off. But I think if Chad had any advice to give, he would say, if you've got the money to survive from 4 to 6 weeks off of work and the work won't give it to you, remember that shoulder surgery is life-changing.
Yes.
You can't undo that. Once it happens, it's done. And so yes, 4 to 6 weeks off work, that would put me in a difficult financial situation. I'm sure it does for anyone. But if you can do that and possibly avoid surgery, you might have a different life than if you just say, well, I can't take that time off work. It's sad, but it might be true. Or look for short-term disability, see what all you can apply for or maybe utilize.
Even open up communication with your employer and supervisors, managers, even go up to owners. Again, this is something I wish I would have kind of pushed, because bigger corporations, they're going to push health and safety above everything, and sort of propose something to them. Look, I would rather not miss work and put that much strain on my fellow co-workers. And so how, can we work something out to where I would be on a modified or be on a more data input rather than preparation schedule, or work on something to get this. I love my job. I want to work here. I like to work here. I also am taking care of my body. I don't want to make a decision that I might regret. And genuinely, without a shadow of a doubt, that is the biggest regret I have of my entire life, is having full shoulder reconstructions. So many, so fast. But when you're hurting, you're not thinking straight. Physicians are, who we lean on, and the more you go to it, it's a tough decision. I say, if anything, take a step back and at least, try and talk to an employer, see if you can wait, and go to these physical therapists, and go to physical therapy and talk to people that have had it done. And again, try not to talk to professional athletes, or look at what happened to Drew Brees or Adrian Peterson. I guarantee what your insurance company is going to approve has nothing to do with the kind of hardware or equipment or therapy that those gentlemen got.
Well, that's a good point.
That's a
different class.
Yeah, that's you're getting the little chrome AutoZone pliers, and they're getting Snap-on. Completely different.
Well, let's change gears a little bit,
Yeah.
Chad, and let's talk about, so we talked about your recovery, that you didn't have to take much time off work. What about the following 8 weeks, and then we'll get into how you injured yourself before you came in. So it's been 9 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks of recovery, the rest of the time rather uneventful or painful?
No, there really wasn't. As you said, the first week and a half, I could feel my right shoulder. I could feel, that was when I'd recently injured in October. It was tender, sore, and about 10 days, about 2 weeks, and the left felt good, pretty good right after. Right
Better
about
than
that,
before,
right about that time, it didn't feel really any kind of soreness, and then unnoticeable. I was more or less paying attention to the one that was kind of lighting me up, and as soon as the right one began to ease, about 10 days or 2 weeks into it, the left one, which was the one you told me, you're not really gonna feel it now. It might feel a little better. And that's one with the more arthritis, and had been reconstructed twice. See where it, it'll start to, the soreness in it will start then. And sure enough, it did about 2 weeks in, and it lasted about a week to 10 days. It was sore, and I just transferred from ice pack to over here, the ice pack to over there.
So Chad, as we mentioned before, you're about 9 weeks out from recovery, and you were a little brave a week ago and decided to go out surfing. And tell us what happened.
I pretty much got the green light from Dr. Hoop to go ahead and go out.
Yellow light. You got it. Yellow green light.
Right. It was small surf, 2.5 feet, real clean little Louisiana surf. No wind, no current. On a longboard. Easy little fun day. Went out and was having fun. So having a nice little session, have a nice little good time, and quickly just in going to pop up, my left hand was a little bit
So define pop up, because I didn't know what that meant at first.
Paddle on a surfboard, you look, and when you feel the wave start to get you, you put your hands down, you arch your back, and you pop up to go onto your feet. My left hand ended up being a little bit inside and a little bit back, which isn't really too significant. With the longboard, it started to kind of pick that board up. So it started, so my hand's a little inside and a little down, and it started to roll me forward. And when I pushed, I felt a pop in the back of my shoulder, and then my weight fell forward and went down. And I had enough shoulder injuries to know that when you feel a thump and it doesn't hurt right away. It doesn't even really hurt, but when you feel a thump and any kind of mechanical anything compromised, you already know that it's something. And I went to take the wetsuit off, and it was swollen, starting to swell a little bit back there, and kind of thought it was worse than what it was. I have enough work in there, a little bit of scar tissue or a tear, but I thought something had really come apart. Went home and iced 10 minutes off 15 for probably the next 24 hours. Hardly slept, was kind of upset with myself for getting out and even doing anything. And it was this shoulder that had been more or less compromised. Wasn't expecting anything here. So an honest freak accident, granted probably a little due to not being out as much, not being able to train and exercise as much. So many little factors that caused it. And that was when I called Dr. Hoop, and I was like, it is right time for that PRP. He said, yeah, in about a week or two. He said, you about ready? I was like, oh yeah, and I got something to tell you. So it was
Confession.
Let's go ahead and see. And I was pleased to call him about 3-4 days later, 2 days before I made this trip up, that great news. I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was. Something's compromised, but I don't think it's bad. I think it might have been a bad strain or something. But
yeah, I think that's what we've ultimately decided. We didn't do a repeat MRI, both because of cost and because it wouldn't really change anything we do at this point. It's still going to be physical therapy. It's still going to be doing the PRP. And we were initially planning a PRP at the 8 to 10 week mark anyway, to fertilize the stem cells and get more juice out of the stem cells. So we were already planning this. It just so happened to coincide with Chad's injury. But I don't think he tore based on my exam, I don't think he tore anything off of the humerus or off the shoulder in general. I think a muscle just gave way, maybe even tore through some scar tissue or bounced off some scar tissue. And he's got, I know you guys can't examine Chad's shoulder, but he's got some deficiencies that he's making up for with his shoulder injury. So he might have just been in the wrong location, the wrong geometry, where he just lost all ability to actually lift and not truly pop anything, but just kind of gave away. Kind of like if your knee buckles, there's nothing wrong with your knee musculature, it just kind of buckled and you picked yourself up. So,
sounds like good news to me, but it felt bad.
You think the worst?
Yeah.
So we did his PRP today. We're hoping for some more regeneration in tendons and arthritis. And tell us what you're expecting to get out of this, Chad.
You can expect not for me to call every week to do anything. I'm gonna sit still this time for sure. I'm pretty much planning on treating it just like I just got more stem cells. You know, really relax the first 2 weeks, then gradually do the little bands and the smaller rehab, and I actually have no intention of even asking to get on a surfboard for 8 to 10 weeks for sure.
Remember that he said that, because he'll be asking.
I don't know, that scared the heck out of me when that happened. I think
okay, good.
I think it's.
So for PRP, he doesn't have to take as much time off. For stem cells, we really say like 2 months, no activity to just kind of daily living, lifting groceries, work, whatever you have to do. And so that's why we allow him to get back into it at that 8 to 9 week mark. For PRP, we're mostly saying 2 weeks of no activity, bare minimum other than just activities of daily living. And then I'm at the 2 week mark, slowly getting back into it. If we are regenerating tendons and muscles and things for Chad, it's important that it's almost like you're starting out as a baby. A baby doesn't go from crawling to running. They go from crawling, then to standing up, and then to walking. And so as those muscles strengthen, the tendons strengthen with them. And so a lot of the reason why bodybuilders and things injure themselves is because the muscles grow faster than the ligaments and the bone can grow, and that's how they injure themselves. So since we're regenerating some of this tissue, new live tissue is a lot fresher and easier to injure, so he wants to rebuild that musculature slowly so that each time the muscle fires, it stimulates the tendon to say, hey, I'm picking up more weight, you need to get stronger, you need to attach to the bone even more. If he gets too athletic too quick or too muscular too quick, it's just going to rip off the bone. And so, Chad, I mean, you've even told me that luckily you're a little genetically blessed. It's easy to recover. It's easy to put on weight. It's easy to get athletic for you. And
but
you gotta. That's
this,
not so good of a
This
thing.
has been a great wake-up call to a point of the longer I stay off, if anything, I ideally would probably be staying off a year right now, but I know that's not even practical. Try to stay off and stay away from anything, and really not doing any surfing until actually the end of summer, until about fall, which is easy. The Gulf is from June till September is pretty much a late Gulf, so that'll be a little bit of swimming and again a little extra training. And my mindset now with this last scare is if I take off 6 months now, we'll probably be able to do it again. If I probably could surf in 3 months. But if I get hurt again, if I hurt this shoulder like I did this one, or this one again, as bad as I did in October, I mean, then it may not be an option to do again ever. So taking a little extra time off, not off from rehabbing and healing, but off from the actual activity, a few extra months to ensure that 5 years from now I can do it and enjoy it. It is worth it.
The long-term investment.
It is worth it, yes.
So Chad's done his stem cell therapy 9 weeks ago. We just did a PRP, a 60cc kit. We did 6 cc's in each shoulder. And now we'll probably see him at again the 8 to 12 week mark. Hopefully by that point he'll be having enough regeneration and recovery that we won't need to just kind of blanket PRP the shoulders. He'll tell me specific weaknesses or significant areas of pain that we want to focus the PRP on, and we'll just kind of hopscotch through the year like that. Every 2 or 3 months we plan on doing a PRP and hopefully getting narrower to hopefully not at all, of course. But that's the goal. So we'll be checking in with Chad again in 10 to 12 weeks.
See you again.
He doesn't do
no more,
any more surfing.
Yes, no more. Not for a while.
Thanks, Chad. We appreciate your
My
honesty.
pleasure.